Alright, welcome back. Double checking, make sure things are running. Awesome. Okay, welcome back. The Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm Martin Wenzel. It is 12:10 in the morning for me on March 2nd. And got the night off, so we're knocking out the rest of these small plane flights, Cessna 208 flights here in the Caribbean. This is our last country we need to do in the Caribbean. Then we're going to be flying up to Miami International Airport in the U.S. on American Airlines in the 737. Hey, Augustus, hey bro. I can't read your name, but thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we're doing, this is the World Tour Flight 220. 220 flights we've done flying around the world into every country and territory. We're here at Sint Maarten at Princess Juliana International Airport. We're going to be flying up to, let me get the exact airport name, Robert L. Bradshaw Airport in Basseterre in St. Kitts, or on the island of St. Kitts in the country of St. Kitts and Nevis. We're going to be on Winair Flight 315 in the Cessna 208B Grand Caravan. The real flight is in the Twin Otter, but I didn't splurge and buy the Twin Otter just for a few flights. I just don't have enough time to fly all these things. Yeah, all right, so let's, I believe I already have a link for the next stream. I don't know if we'll get to that tonight. It is about a 3-hour flight, so it'll be another 4 hours of doing stuff. But I might, because I want to kind of do an airliner flight tonight. And while I'm doing that, I can do some other things when we're in cruise. So, but first things first, we need to get down to St. Kitts and Nevis to catch that American Airlines flight up to Miami. So we're going to get inside the plane, get things started. Okay. Well, I go over here. I like to put this, might not be the way I'm supposed to do it, but I like to put the standby power and this power on. It seems to work for me. Maybe I'm doing extra stuff I don't need to do on this plane. Get the battery switch and turn avionics 1 on. Actually have a little bit longer flight, this one's going to be, last 3 flights we just did were all 17 miles. It was just St. Barths to St. Maarten, St. Maarten to St. Barths, St. Barths to Sint Maarten, and here we are ready to go a little bit longer. We're going to turn this to CDI so we can use the GPS once we get that in. Go to the flight plan. I'll pull up flow, sim brief panel, and get our new sim brief flight. Make sure we got Tango November Charlie Mike for our takeoff, Tango Kilo Papa Kilo for our arrival, and our alternate is a Guadalupe Tango Foxtrot Foxtrot Romeo. Flight level 50, 5,000 feet, 24 minutes for the flight. Winair 315. Payload, we don't need that at this exact moment. We're going to get our flight plan. Little button, and we'll put it in. Tango November Charlie Mike. Not sure why it says Aruba. Let's get our clearance at the same time. Using the in-game ATC just because that works better with these smaller planes. Can I get clearance? Can I? No? Ground? Alright. I guess we don't get to do IFR. I suppose we don't need IFR.
Juliana,
I guess it only offers it when you need it. Minerva, 19 days from today I will be flying to San Antonio with American or Southwest. Where are you flying from? San Antonio. Alright, taxi 2 and hold short our runway.
Taxi 2 and hold short
N.
runway 10 using taxi.
Makes sense, we landed there,
Winair,
so
112
weather hasn't changed. Shouldn't have changed that much. Alright, en route we're going to be flying to Papa Juliet Mike. That's the VOR here, so got Mike, enter. Next one is the airway, so actually we want to go into menu. That menu, load airway, Gonna go right here, and it's gonna show us every airway that comes out of Papa Juliet Mike, and first one's there, Alpha 517, and then it'll give us the exit points, which is really cool. You don't have this on the bigger planes. Have to load all that manually. There you go. There's our airway. What's in the one extra waypoint? Oh, kind of silly, but I always like doing it. Tango Kilo Papa Kilo. Be Bradshaw International. Enter, and planning on runway 07. All right, flight plan can go away. Payload, bring up flow again, get into the payload screen. Keep forgetting I have it right there. And we need 365. So it's interesting, these fuel numbers, because the shorter flights I had more fuel. It seems very random. Payload, let's get my fat butt on there. Get the co-pilot, we'll put another big guy on there. Get a kid on here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and passengers, and then we need another 70 or another 106 for cargo. We'll do 25, 25, 25, 25, and we'll throw 6 right there. There you go. We got our cargo, everything on board. Close that out, close that out. Cute plane. Nice little plane. I have live traffic on, or not live traffic, but live players on, so that's why you're going to see some random planes flying around here in the Caribbean. Very popular place for people to fly, I suppose. Let's turn on the beacon light and get the fuel boost on. That fuel boost. Ignition and starter switch. Bring up this blue lever and go to low idle. These are in the on position. Yep, Princess Juliana. This is the airport. You know your airports. Now I do have a freeware upgrade for this to like kind of do something, because Azobo did a nice job handcrafting this one with a recent update. But this is the one that has the beach right there on the approach. Now there is a mod, there are freeware mods, and there are probably payware mods where they will have people actually standing there. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have it. We'll fly into this airport again, and maybe I'll try to find the mod where you can actually see those beachgoers as we're landing at runway 10 or taking off, and we can blast them if we're coming in an airliner. It's not a big deal with our little plane, so. But this is the airport that you see those videos on YouTube. All the people, the planes landing right over them, you know, really close, and giving them the nice jet blast as they're taking off and all that. All right, engine is golden there. Let's turn off the fuel boost, starter, ignition goes normal. Looks good. Let's go avionics 2. Oops, want to hit that. Check. Do we get taxi clearance? No. Already cleared for taxi. What I want to do before we roll is I want to get my charts. Okay. Start taxiing out. Alpha's right there in front of us. A little bit longer than what we've been doing. Not the longest I've done in the Cessna 208, but Definitely longer than the little St. Maarten, St. Barth's kind of rotation we did, where each flight was about, what, 20... I think flight time was 12 minutes. I think the last one we did here to Sint Maarten was 13 minutes. So, don't worry. We're after this St. Kitts flight. There's not going to be too many flights under an hour. Much less 2 hours. We're going to have some pretty long ones coming up. Miami, flying up to Miami, flying out to Bermuda, flying back to New York. New York down to Dallas, I believe. That's about 4 hours. Dallas up to Denver, a little bit shorter, about 2-3 hours. Denver up to Vancouver. Vancouver down to San Francisco. So everything's going to be, I think San Francisco to San Diego is going to be probably the shortest one we're going to have. That's about an hour, hour and a half, I think. But I'm really excited to do a few world tour flights in the United States. I always like flying over my home country. Unfortunately, there's not as many good freeware airport upgrades for the U.S. It seems the U.S. airports seem to be glaringly bad, but I think it's because you're also used to them, knowing what they look like a little bit more. Then we got some fighter jets coming in for landing. That's got to be a show for those beachgoers. Got the hotels over here. I think these were all added with the upgrade for the airport, which is pretty cool. Oh no, that's a airliner right there. Yeah, let's get our clearance. Not that it really matters. They're not.
Juliana Tower Winair,
they're not dealing with those people.
At runway
those live
10,
people.
ready for departure. Straight out departure.
Winair 112 tree QNH 30.06 wind 074 at 5. Straight out departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 10.
Cleared for 10. Don't think I want to do. I want to turn on. I need to turn on the assist. But we're not going to need it after this flight because we're going to be flying the airliners, and I have FS HUD ATC, which works really nicely with the airliners. Doesn't work so well with these kind of smaller planes. They'll often give you a warning that especially at these smaller Caribbean airports, not this one, but most of the other ones I've been, they'll say, oh, your runway's not long enough for your plane. I'm like, it's definitely long enough for my plane. Oh, did someone just landed me or there? I just warped in. That's why I typically don't like to be on, like, VATSIM is really nice. All players, Microsoft Flight Simulator, all players, multiplayer is not that good. People just loading in wherever. We also have a pushback tug just cruising around on the runway for some reason. Yeah, that's realistic. Is why I typically do not like to fly with other people buzzing me all the time like that. Look at all the boats. Okay, I make sure we turn here. Yeah, these planes, the smaller planes are more just a means to an end for me to get from point A to point B. I don't really fly them. I haven't really studied how to fly these too much accurately. Even though there's always a part of me that wants to do it, and like I'm really seriously contemplating going and getting my going to flight school and learning how to fly for real life and do a career change here. It's going to be a major undertaking, though. Definitely have to make a plan. Not impossible, but I do have I have a 14-month-old right now. Got a nice sized mortgage, and I got a job that pays me decently. I work 60 hours a week, though. So I'm making enough to pay the mortgage, and
Winair
save a
1123,
tiny bit of money,
frequency change approved.
but not that much at all. And my wife doesn't have to work; she can take care of baby right now. But I really want to do something different. And just learning, looking into being a pilot and stuff, it's just amazing hearing the stories from these guys and
Juliana Tower
you know,
Winair.
what their
112 frequency
their
change.
day-to-day life is like. You know, what they, how much they work and how much they get paid versus how much they work and the free time they have and the enjoyable job that they have. And it's like, yeah,
Juliana approach Winair 1123
that would be
is
kinda
type
nice.
Cessna Caravan 4 miles southeast of Juliana.
All right, we're gonna go up to
2,500
5,000 feet. So let's get that
Request
5,000 in.
clearance to transition
remind
Charlie
me.
airspace.
Because we're gonna cruise a little bit.
Winair 1123, Juliana approach. Squawk 5112.
About 1,000 feet.
Squawk 5112 Winair 1123.
Winair 1123, radar contact at 6 miles south of Juliana, 3,100 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace. Maintain own navigation.
I always screw up my lights on this because I don't have a checklist, and like I said, I'm just flying for fun in these planes. But next flight will be in the Boeing 737-800. I'm going to be I try to do it as realistically and following the right procedures. I'm still learning all the procedures and trying to get them right in that plane. I've been flying the 737-800 since X-Plane, with a little bit of a break when we went over to Flight Simulator because there was no 737. Then that's where I learned the Airbus.
1123, please acknowledge.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
But yeah, I
Winair
figure,
1123.
if I do the flight training thing, it's like I'm going to be using this simulator quite a bit more, when I do have time to, practice different things, different techniques, and kind of refresh my mind, just work ahead on things. And that'll be definitely getting more into these smaller planes to do that at first. So. But as I was talking about previous streams, Minerva, Ontario International, like California, Ontario. Canada, Ontario. I love it. My wife's supposed to be sleeping, right? But she's constantly sending out pictures. I like the messenger. There's constantly pictures going. So it's like, it's funny because she'll yell at me for being on my phone when I'm supposedly sleeping. Be like, "Why are you on your phone?" Like, why are you on your phone when you're sleeping? All right, so we're gonna cruise at 5,000 feet. Looks like we have 16 minutes, so not a terribly long cruise. I think looking at the time, we can always use. Thing is, we can always use time acceleration for the next flight too, a little bit if we need to. I think I'm going to do the next flight. I think I'm going to do we're going to fly from St. Kitts up to Miami. I think that'll be really fun. I need an airliner flight. It's been a few days since, I think Saturday night I did a nice long flight from Los Angeles to JFK, just a relaxing one. I was streaming it, I was I was adjusting fonts and stuff for my stream, kind of adjusting what the look of the stream is, and I was just doing it for fun. It wasn't a serious stream, and I started playing some music in the background and got dinged for copyright. I got a warning on YouTube, and they just shut the stream down because I'm just playing music. Be cool if we could do that more, though. I got a picture. Alright, so here's a few pictures that were just posted, my wife just posted from tonight. She invited one of the foreign exchange students from the school, the high school my mom works at, and the girl, she happens to be from pretty close to where we lived in China and where my wife is from in China, so I kind of invited her over to the house, picked her up from school. I came over, made her some fried rice here, and they made dumplings and all that, and then hung out with the baby. There they are. So there's the girlfriend, there's the high schooler, and there's my wife, and there's the junior captain right there. They are making dumplings. What else we got here? Got videos. Alright, that's turn down. Give me those. Those are mine now. What the heck? Yeah, he just gets into everything too. He just says, all right, I want this. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to grab it. Took the box apart. It's kind of weird. We got the Cheerios boxes already for some reason. It's a very weird way they made the box. Oh, I took these pictures. It was the other night. He just sat down and put the bucket on his butt, and I'm like, well, maybe you should just take your pants off, and then that can be your toilet. Save some money on diapers. He's gotten a little bit more into making messes lately. I can't remember what that was. He dumped all over the floor. I can't remember what. He's eating it though. Walking around in it and then eating it. Oh, I think those like Cocoa Krispies or something. Likes to get into all my shoes. I didn't realize he actually got that shoe on, albeit backwards. Playing with Grandpa and the dog. Oh, he was actually over. This is when he spent the night with my grandparents, or not my parents. Spent the night with the grandparents.
Gulliver. No. No.
Oh, here's his favorite thing to do. He likes to climb up on these stools. Like, he's climbing up and down stairs, but he likes to climb up on this stool and do stuff, and then he'll show off, like, look at me, I can climb up, climb down. Surprised he didn't go into the laundry basket there. Also likes to sit in a the bread case, tin, making bread. Oh, that's what he was eating. He was eating a cream puff from Wisconsin State Fair. Well, I think it was from what would have been a Valentine's Day, I think. But our state fair is famous for those, the cream puffs.
Winair 1123, you're leaving my airspace radar service. Terminated spark 7000. Frequency change approved.
Alright, let's put that away for now. There we go, we got St. Kitts right there. Nevis is going to be the next island down there.
1123, did you copy?
No, I didn't. Well, I did, but I just didn't,
Squawk 7000. Frequency change approved Winair 112 Bradshaw Tower Winair 112 10 miles northwest, 5,000 feet to land.
Winair
There's the airport right in front of us.
QNH 30.01 wind 075 at Niner. Fly right traffic runway 7.
Okay, so runway 7 is going to be over.
Fly right traffic runway 7 Winair 112
What do they want? They fly right traffic. Yeah, so we're going to go down past the airport and then we'll come back, turn right. When it's a right traffic is you're turning right. All your turns are going to be right. So you're going to be on the left side of the runway where you're running. or where you're landing. If you're doing a right pattern, it means you're on the runway's going to be to your right. It's always going to be to your right. So you're on the left side of the runway. So you're going to fly up the runway, then turn, and then turn down the runway. Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3 turns, right? Because right now we're perpendicular to the runway. Which is actually just fine because we got this, you know, elevation right in front of us. I do want to start descending. We don't want to get into that elevation, but we do want to start descending. And this will be the last of the Caribbean airports that we're going to fly into, and there's quite a few. If you're flying in the Caribbean and you're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator, there are quite a few nice freeware scenery upgrades. Well, really nice ones. The guy who's doing basically trying to knock out almost every Caribbean airport, it seems. They are pretty good. I mean, if you're comparing it to there are a few paywares, and you know, typically the payware is going to be better than just the freeware, but a lot of these freeware ones are pretty close in quality, and it's like, well, if I'm not going to fly into this airport so many times, and it's good enough, it's close enough. They want us to do a right. Obviously, you can see we could just turn left, but we're way too high. We're going to go out kind of over that shipping container right there. We'll turn right, and then we'll take another right turn, and another one in, and for the landing. I think my wife caught on to the reason I switched to nights again, at least for temporarily, why I volunteered, because it allows me to do a little bit more flying than when I have my days off. I have a day off during the day when I'm working days, and my day off is during the day. Well, I have to do a little bit more shopping and doing things, you know, taking care of the boy, and which at this moment in this time of the year, it's like, okay, there's not much to do because it's kind of cold and just miserable. I had a vacation last week. I took a week vacation, and we only did one thing because otherwise it was a lot of bad weather. I didn't do a really good turn here. Aggressive on that turn. But we went up to the EEA museum in Oshkosh, the experimental flight museum. Why is this plane turning? Yes, if I let it go, it just keeps turning. Oh, you know why? I had my rudder pedals. My brain and my feet aren't connecting so well there. It snowed here several days ago, 3 inches. Last week we went to the EAA museum, the Experimental Aircraft Administration, something like that, a museum up in Oshkosh, and that's where you have the big fly-in for AirVenture every summer. It's the busiest airport in the world every summer. Really cool museum. Went there, I think, on Monday, and then we were planning on going down to Chicago to the Science and Industry Museum, but the weather was kind of crap, and we got a ton of snow. Well, we didn't get a ton of snow, but we got the equivalent of, like, I think they were saying it was like the equivalent of 2 feet of snow in snow weight, because it was like that heavy, wet junk. And actually, one of our parking structures, a ramp at a parking structure at Bayshore Mall in Milwaukee, collapsed. Luckily, no one was hurt. There was a car coming in. You see the video, and he was coming in, and he turned right, and then as he's pulling away, here comes the thing just goes down, and that'd be like, you know. But so there's like a bunch of trapped cars there now. Like, no one was trapped, no one was hurt, but it collapsed because they had plowed all the snow on the top of the parking structure, but they didn't account for the fact that, yeah, it wasn't as huge a pile. It didn't seem like there was a ton of snow, but it was because it was such a heavy snow that it was, you know, it was only like an inch, 2 inches of snow on the ground, like when you like go out and measure with a stick, but it was the equivalent in weight to like 2 feet of snow because it's that wet, just heavy crud. I mean, I went out and shoveled, and it was a pain. Yeah, what plane I'm in. All right, let's get our.
Winair 1123, did you hear my last
Yes, I
transmission?
did. No, please leave me alone.
121.9er for Winair 112
All right, well, there we go. We have completed the Caribbean. There's a link for the next stream. We are going to do that tonight. And that will take me almost to when I have to go to bed. Yeah, we're going to fly to Miami. That'd be nice. Taxi. Take off. We'll just find a place to park. Don't want to park at a gate, per se. Well, I guess this is good park here because we must. I suppose when we're doing our American flight, we're gonna be out there, loading by stairs, because you typically don't. This isn't like airliner. Like, I have no idea how this parking works. So again, I kind of usually just come in here, do this. I don't know. You can see this is a decent upgrade to this airport. Not, you know, interesting little terminal building. I have no idea if that's anywhere close to what that terminal building in real life looks like. All right, parking brake set. Let's kill the engines. Lights can come off. Passengers can start deboarding. All that good stuff. And let's pull up Valenta one last time here in the Caribbean. Let's check it out. And what's really cool about Valenta, it shows all your flights that you've done on the same day or in the same session. So you can see we did this bunch of 3 flights right here, kind of looping in and out. And then a pretty straightforward flight into St. Kitts and Nevis. The Basseterre, we have a landing rate -168 feet per minute, 58 miles, 6 passengers. Not a bad landing. 23 minutes, our longest flight of the night so far. But the next one is going to be the long one, and that will take us almost. Sun's going to be coming up by the time we go. I'm wondering, should I do live time or not? I don't think the sun will be coming. Well, it might be. It'd be kind of cool to do live time. We're going to do the scheduled flight time, and so we're going to actually be getting a sunset as we're going into Miami, where in real life, the sun's going to be coming up. Well, I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I might change my mind. We might do a night takeoff, fly in the dark, and then we'll be coming in as the sun's rising, I would assume, behind us, right? Because we're coming from the east. Let's pull up the world map. Really good job opening that. There's our world tour so far, every country and territory we've been to. And here's our last one in the Caribbean, St. Kitts and Nevis. So we're going to be jumping into the American Airlines Boeing 737-800 for the next flight. There is a link above pinned here on YouTube for that. Jump over there. I'm going to be ending this stream and then we'll start that one. Let's see. Let's switch off of this. There we go. We'll be doing that. That's going to be about a 3.5 hour flight once we get up in the air. So it's going to be a nice long one. Might do some time acceleration if the clock's getting late, but I figure they'll take us to about 4 in the morning. It'll be 5 in the morning local time for Miami, so we might start getting a sea and a sunrise. So I haven't decided if I want to do a night flight out of here or a night landing in Miami. But in any case, like I said, if you're on YouTube, click on that link to the next stream for the Miami stream. And I'm going to get some music going again here. And I will see you over there for the Miami flight, if I can talk. That Miami flight in just a few minutes. It's going to take a little bit longer to set that one up than these ones, but they're really soon.